Colleagues, I am today submitting a letter of inquiry to invite collaboration and seek responses from departments for specific questions. For a policy endeavor I'm calling drug-free sidewalks. I expect this to be the first among other inquiries in months to come to inform legislative efforts and develop and urge a coordinated strategy to end the phenomenon of public drug use in San Francisco. Court-mandated drug treatment, in my view, should be central to that effort, and studies have demonstrated its success in ensuring that criminal justice interventions in drug use-related crimes can be life-saving interventions. I think that's especially important now, knowing that many of those on our streets are captured by drug addictions that are far deadlier than ever before in human history. In fact, the National Institute on Drug Abuse, in its 2018 Principles of Drug Addiction Treatment, has been unequivocal in stating that drug treatment does not need to be voluntary to be effective. Although we arguably have legal authority to accomplish much of that now, California voters will begin weighing in on Proposition 36 a month from now, and without expressing a preference for the measure one way or another, statewide polling suggests a strong likelihood that it'll be adopted by a large margin. One change Prop 36 would offer local governments is to further empower drug courts in California by creating a new category for drug-related offenses known as treatment-mandated felonies. My letter of inquiry today to our police department, fire department, sheriff's office, district attorney's office, and Department of Public Health seeks feedback on how we would best begin making prompt and consequential use of treatment-mandated felonies should voters make that option available to us. Alternatively, I'm asking for what other options we might consider to expand our use of drug courts in San Francisco, even if Proposition 36 were not enacted, to restore order to our streets, to diminish the attraction our city now holds as a destination city for drug use and drug dealing, and to make meaningful humanitarian interventions to stop street-level drug use and help save lives. My letter of inquiry today is intentional and starting with general questions, most of which involve capacity and funding. In other words, it's a request for a needs assessment on what would be required to scale up citation arrests and custody arrests for those engaged in public drug use or possession, to assure prompt access to buprenorphine and other addiction medications for those who are cited and arrested, to expand locked capacity where necessary to accommodate custodial interventions, to scale up prosecutions to maximize our use of treatment-mandated options, and to expand access to drug treatment and related services, including more scalable outpatient options. Like many residents I represent in District 6 neighborhoods, and like many of my fellow members of the recovery community who have increasingly been moved to activism by the drug overdose crisis we are facing, I think increasing numbers of San Franciscans share the view that drug enablism is helping no one. Not our residents who are being robbed of the safe enjoyment of their own neighborhoods, not our small businesses who are facing rampant addiction-driven theft and even drug-induced violence, and least of all, not those in the grips of substance use disorders involving the deadliest drugs we have ever known. I've been candid in discussing my own journey in recovery from addiction, why it moved me to ask for this job, and why it motivates much of the work I do here. That doesn't mean I have all the answers. It doesn't mean that my views are necessarily right. What it does mean is that there will never be a single day in City Hall during my time here that I will stop working on this. So beginning with this letter of inquiry and with the related efforts to come in the months ahead, I hope to do that in a collaborative and solutions-focused way with board colleagues, with Room 200, and with city departments that have a role to play in making needed progress. But so long as public drug use remains illegal in California, San Franciscans have a right to expect that those laws will be enforced. Irrespective of the outcome of Prop 36, my letter of inquiry today seeks responses and invites collaboration on how we can deliver on the promise of drug-free sidewalks and accomplish it in a manner consistent with our civic values. To that point, my intention in pursuing drug-free sidewalks is that the effort adhere to three core principles: that criminal justice interventions for drug use or possession be viewed as life-saving interventions and always accompanied with access to appropriate addiction medication and treatment options; that expungement of all charges for drug use or possession be a guaranteed condition for successfully completing mandatory drug treatment; and that we honor the dignity of those with substance use disorders, destigmatizing drug addiction while unequivocally denormalizing public drug use and deadly behavior. I look forward to the responses and working together toward solutions that San Franciscans demand of us, and the rest I submit.
Thank you, Supervisor Dorsey. Supervisor